All right, hi everyone. Welcome to Healing Your Pet podcast by Healing Bay Pet Nutrition. I'm Jesse Roberts, and this is Alex Roberts, my wife.
Hi, I'm Alex Roberts.
Yes,
Um, so I am
I'll take it.
a
We have only one little
certified
microphone.
clinical pet nutritionist. I'm also a current veterinary medical student, going into my third year now, so halfway through vet school. And we realized that between the two of us, I think we have almost like 25, 30 years
Yep.
of experience in the pet industry, and really heavily in nutrition, the nutrition side of things, and a lot of integrative, kind of holistic approaches to things. And honestly, while being in school, I have lost the time to be able to continue doing one-on-one consults with clients because I am obsessed with perfection. So I spend 4 hours before every single consult trying to make sure that I am just doing as close to perfect for that patient as I possibly can. I never want to let anyone down. So in that, I can't sacrifice to do that any longer, but we really, really wanted to come up with some way of still being able to help animals, because I still have so many people asking for help, and to be honest, I don't even have anywhere to send them anymore, and it's really hard. It's like genuinely heartbreaking for me to have to tell someone I cannot help you, and I kind of don't know what to tell you. Like, here's this resource. Good luck is really all I've got for people, and it feels horrible to have to say that to anyone. So here we are, trying to just do our best to get information out there that can hopefully help as many people as possible. We really want to give you, hopefully, simple, practical, yet really informative information based on, like
Informative information. Yep.
yeah, many decades of experience of just seeing what works and what doesn't work with thousands, probably tens of thousands of animals over the years. We've been really fortunate
Mm-hmm.
to have the opportunity to have all this experience. So we want to do something with it and try and help as many people and their pets as possible.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Anything that we would recommend too is something we would do with our own pets. We do have 3 cats. We're dogless right now,
Yeah,
and we have a
which
horse.
is very sad.
But yeah, we have a horse and 3 cats, and we have a snake too. It gets only the best nutrition. But the thing is like we've applied a lot of this stuff in our own lives and seen it actually work. And like she said, our background in pet nutrition mainly comes from, for me, I was just working in retail pet food, so I was working and managing pet stores for years and years, and I've helped a lot of people, and I've never really had any issues with people coming back saying the things that we've tried didn't work, and that just comes because of the knowledge that we have of years of experience, and probably a little unconventional for a lot of people. Like, a lot of veterinarians might hear what we say and think it's unconventional stuff, but we assure you this works. We're basically just all about whatever's natural and the way to go. So um, the big thing I guess we want to help out with um, is eliminating any conflicting info you have out there. So if you have any issues with, you're not sure what to do, we hope we can clarify that for you. That's the big one, because if you do a search on Google or anything like that for information, it's all, there's so many things out there. So we want to clarify things for people, but use our experience and our science doing this. I've got a lot of experience, but like, I mean, she's the best expert you can listen to. No, we're not just saying that because I'm married to her, but I just know that what she says works. And that's what we want to do, is just help you out clarifying things. So the way this is working is this podcast goes into conjunction with, we're basically working on starting a website that will be informational only. Like she said, she has no time to do consults anymore. And so we need to find a way to help people out using the knowledge we have. I am not a pet nutritionist, or certified, but I have years of experience doing it. And so we're putting it together, and hopefully we'll be able to give you all what you need. So you can follow on Facebook for now, Healing Bay Pet Nutrition. It's just going to be a picture of her right now, and the profile picture and the banner, but maybe if you just, it's right now there's like one thing I've posted on there, but if you follow it now, that'll be the best way to follow us until we get this thing up and running, right?
Substack. Right?
And Substack, yes, which is the Healing Your Pet Substack, which is the same name of this video/podcast. So, anything else you can think of along those lines?
I mean, I think you hit all the important stuff. When you brought up all the conflicting information online, it's like, just try Googling what's the best food for my dog, and good luck with that. And I'm sure a lot of people listening have been there or tried searching something similar, and people get very heated over subjects like this too, and I try really hard for finding kind of a middle ground on everything, but a middle ground as far as like what he said, based on what actually works, because I have seen with my own eyes thousands of times over and over and over again what does and what doesn't work. So there are a lot of things where individuals are different. Well, individuals are always different no matter what and have to be treated so, but there are some things where it's like, this is going to be a trial and error type thing, but we'll figure it out. And then there are some things where I can pretty confidently say, I'm 90+% sure this is going to work for you right up front. And if it doesn't, I still have a backup plan for you. And then I just wanted to add for fun that you brought up retail management and all of your years of experience managing pet stores. I guess first I just wanted to add to that specifically the pet stores that both of us have managed are very holistic, natural, nutrition based.
Not PetSmart and Petco.
Yes.
Family owned,
no corporations.
Small pet stores.
Yep, all of them. So he's been a regional manager and I've been a store manager.
Yep.
And just for fun, that is how we met.
Mm-hmm. So I guess a big thing is our whole philosophy behind this is that nutrition is something you can use to heal your pet. And nutrition is the basis of all health in your animal. We know how bad it is out there with a lot of the vet industry. Is a lot of times it's just it's a big pharmaceutical industry. There's most vets don't treat your animal under the basis of they want to heal them. They treat they mask symptoms. They may just try to prolong an animal's life by making them comfortable or something like that, or and a lot of times it's just they're so busy they got to dole out so many medications or whatever, and we're not judging about that, but we just don't believe in that type of practice.
Approach to medicine.
So we are wholeheartedly experienced, and we believe that things like this can work. Nutrition is the basis of all health in humans and animals, and the start to healing, or not even just healing, if your animal doesn't have any problems at all, it's better off. Let's say you got a brand new puppy or kitten and you're want to set them up for a long life, happy, energetic, no health problems. It's impossible to guarantee that, but less likelihood of chronic lifelong health issues. I would say this is the way to do it.
Which equates to minimal vet bills.
Yes.
It's a win-win.
Yes, it's very nice. And that's kind of how we've always approached anything. Have you ever helped people because we had so many people that they'd have dogs with cancer or heart problems or kidney or whatever you can think of, you name it. We've seen it and helped it, and we've seen lots of people prolong their pets' lives just through optimal nutrition. And this is also covers like things that you may struggle with your pets, like maybe weight management issues and just inflammation or itchy skin or whatever. All of this is centered on nutrition. So this is a thing, like we're just saying that there's a lot of issues vets really can't help. They can't cure your animal. We're not saying we're going to cure your pet, but we're saying that the best means of not maybe even eliminating some of these issues or lessening the intensity of them or whatever. This is the best way to do it, and we believe that. Like that is just based off our experience. So it may sound a little unconventional, and some people might listen to us, vets included, that will be like, these people are, they don't know what they're talking about. I've had that happen a lot of times too, but based off experience, I do believe that's what can help. This is what can help. And you also have to realize that a lot of veterinarians are not trained in nutrition, hardly at all. I mean, they get like a few hours here and there in vet school put on by the big.
Not even that.
Right,
really.
But if
That's
you do, it's usually they're highly sponsored by the major pet food manufacturers in the country. I don't want to say the names, but you can think of them, and
the big three.
Yeah, and they're the ones that are like, they're scientifically studied and they're clinically whatever. It's just, that's the kind of thing that a lot of people get out of vet school and don't have time to deal with nutrition. It's like, I have a waiting room jam full of animals that are sick, and I got doing whatever. Like, they don't have time to focus on nutrition and things like that. So that's where this whole thing comes from. Like, she's in vet school, she's experienced this. They don't get nutritional training, but you will always hear veterinarians say things like, when I was managing pet stores, they'd be like, well, it's just some guy at the pet store. Does he have doctor in front of his name? I mean, I do now, but I'm not a vet, but I'm just saying. But back then I didn't. So it's like, they would say that, or do they have DVM after, like, somehow, because you got a veterinary degree, you're like just automatically an expert in pet nutrition. Well, most of the stuff in that industry is incredibly outdated, like decades behind where we are with human medicine, human nutrition. There's no, it's not a ton of money in it. I believe it's just hard to even get approved to do research in that area, and a lot of times you're just kind of laughed out of the room by the big money, by big dog food or big cat food or whatever. So
yeah.
I think that's where you'll hear that sometimes if you listen to us. People might say, "Oh, those people, they're not vets or whatever." I mean, she's almost a vet, but that has nothing to do with nutrition. It's a completely different specialty.
Realm.
Yeah, it's
a whole different world. It's just.
And she's a nerd. She's beyond a animal nerd. This is something she's been about her whole life. She started working in a pet store when she was 10 years old. So it's like she just nerds out over nutrition and dog food. Like, when you sound like that sounds really boring, I don't want to lay in bed and read a nutritional textbook. She would. So she knows all this stuff, and she knows the trends too. How dog food's. Being in a pet food store since you were 10 years old gives you a chance to recognize all the trends and the things that people used to do, and it's a rapidly changing industry, but it's a very outdated way of thinking. So lots of people, you're overwhelmed. You walk in your store, like, look at all this stuff. Like, I just feed, whatever, the 99-cent can of cat food to my cat, or I like the $6 bag of dried food. Well, and that's like how I've always done it. That's all my pets have always eaten, but things have changed so tremendously, and I just think a lot of the vets just can't keep up with it.
Yeah. And I just want to comment, I guess, a little bit more on from the veterinary perspective. First of all, it is really important to understand that I do believe, I mean, I can't speak for every single veterinarian on the planet, but we all got into vet school because it is incredibly competitive. We all pursued and managed to get into vet school because we love animals. Like, veterinarian, at minimum, at least in one point in their life, was incredibly passionate about doing the best they possibly can for animals. And I think it's fair to say at least 90+% of veterinarians out there, they're still in it, they're still in the profession because that is their life goal. They want to help animals, and they genuinely want the best for their animal, so they're going to do the best that they possibly can for your animal. It's not that your veterinarian does not have your animal's best interest at heart. It's just really the moral of the story is we get, I mean, it's really not an exaggeration to say that we get essentially zero nutritional training in vet school. And like he said, any tiny little tidbits we get are essentially just from information from Big Pet Food, which sounds silly, but there's just no better way to put it. So it's tough, it's frustrating, and a lot of veterinarians will say, hey, this is not something we were taught about in vet school. Go talk to a nutritionist. And something confusing is there is such thing as a veterinary nutritionist. So that is not what I am. What that means is you are a veterinarian, so you got your bachelor's degree, and then you did 4 years of medical school. So that's, what I'm halfway through right now. But then after you take your board exams to be a veterinarian, you then go on and do a specialty in veterinary nutrition, which is a few extra years of another program, and then you also become board certified. It's like kind of
like a PhD or a master's degree, right? Is that usually how they go? Like it's that type of concept, I guess.
Yeah, sort of, kind of. I would say it's more like, if for human medicine you go see an orthopedic surgeon versus your family practice doctor.
There's not many of them out there, though,
right.
Are there anyways?
Right, versus a cardiologist, so they went through 4 years of medical school, and then they did their residency in, whatever their specialty is. So in veterinary medicine, we're not required to do a residency, but you can choose to do a residency, and nutrition is one of those things you can do a residency in. And yeah, there are not many veterinary nutrition, I think there are like 100 maybe in the whole country, give or take. It's not even like 1,000. I really do think it's like 100, give or take. So it's not very, very few of them. And they are trained to make an AAFCO, which we'll get into what that means. Probably maybe in its whole separate podcast, but they're trained to create AAFCO-approved complete balanced diets for homemade cooking, which is great, but they are trained from a very conventional perspective still, and a lot of what they do is going to be recommending prescription diets from the big 3 pet food companies. There is still no training. They know a ton. They have lots of amazing, valuable information, but there's just no training from the more holistic or integrative perspective still, because it's a continuation of vet school. It's just you do actually get the nutrition. And a final thing that is very important to say is that it's important to know, well, first of all, I'm not yet a doctor, but even when I am, a little less than 2 years from today, this is not medical advice. It is very important. This is not misconstrued as medical advice.
We're not telling you to do this, but this is just what we believe.
Yes.
And
we cannot diagnose anything via a podcast. That was probably pretty obvious.
Or a website or anything. Yeah.
Right. We cannot treat anything. We cannot prescribe anything to you, and we cannot cure anything. And that's where we're just here to give you the best advice,
knowledge,
from our years of knowledge that we have to offer, because there's no point in it just sitting in our heads and not helping anybody. That's really it. That, we just want to share the knowledge from all these years of experience with you so that you can experiment if you so choose, and see if it works for your pet too, like we have seen it work for so many.
Yep.
So, yeah, I think that's the moral of our story here.
Yeah, so this is obviously just an introduction to what we're going to do in future episodes. We're going to really get into it, the nitty-gritty of things, and I think that we're just going to try to be as informative as we can. Like we said, we're not here to treat or whatever, but just give you the information you need to make the decisions that you probably, that you want to make. You want your animal to be happiest, healthiest. You want to keep them around forever if you could. So we want to give you the knowledge to do that, or to try to do that. So other than that, I think that next time you listen to this, we'll be talking about more fun things that should actually inform you, right?
Yep.
All
That's
right.
the plan.
All right. So for now, you can just follow on Facebook would be the best place to start, and then once things get rolling, you can check out our website, things like that. So,
and subscribe to our
the
Substack.
It's free. You don't have to do the paid version.
There's free. There will be some paid content on there, but lots of good stuff for free. So if you just subscribe for free.
Yeah, you can search as Healing Your Pet, or if you search Healing Bay Pet, so healing and then BAY, B as in boy, AY, pet, nutrition, that's the business. So this is Healing Your Pet, but it's under the umbrella of Healing Bay Pet Nutrition. If you search that on Substack, it should pop up. But if not, you could always just message the Facebook page and we can help you find it. Yes. She has one final thought.
I have one final thought. I just wanted to add, again, in just a little bit of background and personal information, and kind of why we're doing this again, is so on top of not having time for consults, once I do graduate vet school, I plan on actually doing equine only, so horses, donkeys, mules is basically what that translates to. And I don't plan on doing much small animal stuff. So dogs and cats are the basis of what we consider a small animal. But like we keep saying, we have all this knowledge and we just really want to help your pets. So this is where we are, so we can try to help your pets the best way we can, even though that is not the route I plan on taking as a doctor. So.
Wonderful. All right. Well,
thanks
see you next
for listening.
time. Yep.